What's good with the YouTube? Y'all know Big Flacco with the convict's perspective, and I'm gonna smash, dash, and slide on through that little bit of energy, man. Please hit the like, subscribe, comment, do all those things to help support this channel. Hit that bell notification for future fire content, man. You know, it comes that time when you have to do some positive stuff, man, because a lot of negative things sometimes start to happen in your life, man. So today, this is what happened. Before we get into this video, so today's payday for YouTube, guys. And I didn't, January, February, I didn't make much at all. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I made something, you know, of course, you know, and that's, so today, I go, I'm waiting for my money. You know what I'm saying? I have bills to pay. You know what I mean? I'm on basically low empty. You know, like everybody else, man, we're pushing as hard as we can. So I see my money hadn't came through. So I went to Google AdSense and it said pending verification, man. So now I have to wait for them to deposit some money and then deposit it and take it out. And I got to put it in the fucking thing to verify the thing. Now, I don't know if this is going to offset me as to the point to where, because I have the money sitting there in the AdSense account. I don't know if this is going to offset me to where they may not pay me till next month on the 21st, because that's when they pay us. The 21st of every month, except for if it lands on a Saturday or Sunday. So now I'm kind of stressed out because I got bills to pay. You know what I'm saying? And I got all this other stuff going on, man, and just nothing can ever seem to go in accordance to what it's supposed to be. They didn't send me no email or nothing. Now I've been using this bank account to deposit money from YouTube for a long time on the AdSense account. So I don't know why they're asking for verification now, number one. Number two, you know, I mean, you should notify people of this because, you know, we have real lives. We have bills. I have all kinds of bills that are due right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, to the extent that basically what I had coming in was going to cover basically my bills, and I was going to have to stretch it whatever I could, you know what I mean? For food, you know what I'm saying? So this was, you know, it had me kind of frustrated. I put a post up earlier, man, and yeah, that's going to get anybody frustrated because you can't even call YouTube and just have the discussion with anything. You fucking go on YouTube, you end up talking to a robot. And then fucking they said they're going to get back to you, and it's a robot responding to you. So it's a fucking headache, man. You know, so, you know, that's what happened today. So basically, man, I'm sitting on a fucking bank account with $0 up in it, and I have fucking bills, and I may not get paid until next month. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's an added stress factor with a lot of things going on in my life, man. But you know, I guess, you know, I'm still alive. You know what I mean? I guess that's key, and I can still be here to present a message and hopefully some type of positivity in light of a fucked up situation, man. That, you know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm stressed out in my head, but I'm still here. Anyways, let's talk about I think an important topic that people have asked me for a long time, man. As far as, you know, the security setup as far as within these collectives, you know what I mean? And each group has a different type of security measure, you know what I mean? And this is outside the chain of command, you know what I'm saying? Within Norteno, ANF, whatever you want to label the titles, you know what I mean? There's certain security procedures that they have to uphold. You know what I'm saying? There's self-security. Self-security would be that where you secure yourself, you know what I'm saying? Always have make sure someone keeps a distance from you. Observe, be attentive of your surroundings, you know what I'm saying? Always have that piece ready. Be aware what the canine's on that day. What are they doing? Their movements. Look for little things, right? When you've been locked up, right? There's certain training that they make you do that after a while, it just makes you become naturally in tune with your awareness and security. Awareness means being informed, right? I used to teach this to people. When you're aware, that means you're informed because you know what's going on. When you're informed, you could be secured. And see, not everybody comes into a prison paying attention like that. So you have to ingrain that thought in them, you know? But there's, like I said, there's different types of security. I mean, there's a yard security. You know, an established yard, you know, anybody that's been to a yard knows the things that we do on these yards. You know what I'm saying? Got a little Band-Aid there. We do parole checks. You know what I'm saying? Patrol counts are when you walk around, you have two soldados walking, and they're counting everybody on that yard. They're looking how many homeboys are out there, how many oppositions are out there, how many COs are out there, anything unusual activity, and they do that every day. And every unlock, usually you get a count, a report. You know what I'm saying? Whoever the yard security is, or the SL, usually a squad leader, and then he's going to report to the overall squad leader. The overall squad leader in our time used to be the yard security. So the purpose of this is just to have information and to cross check it. And there's been times where there's been riots that ended up happening, where the homeboys were able to prepare and get off first because they paid attention to things. It's like, say, every Tuesday, the cuenta's like this. Okay, 30 homeboys on the yard, 22 Sureños, 12 whites. You know what I'm saying? Whatever Africanos, right? Now all of a sudden there's fucking, 28 homeboys. Okay. But there's 57 Sureños. And now there's 30 white boys out there. And now it's fucking 90 degrees out, yet everybody has their sweaters on. Little things like that you have to pay attention to. That's your security. And see, on the yard, you're going to have your certain hitters. All hitters should have a piece on that yard, at least at all times, someone with it on them, unless IGI hits the yard. You know what I'm saying? And, people are given instructions that if a correctional officer tries to get you when you have a piece, fucking take off and get rid of that motherfucker. But you should at least have 2 ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And maybe even more. Because sometimes you'll have some observation posts. We'll say like there's a handball court, right? Say someone with good eyesight, they'll be posted right there by the handball court, and like they're watching the game or something, but yet the whole time they're watching over there the other side of the yard what type of activities they see. These are the things in which how people secure themselves. Walking in pairs of 2, minimum. 2 is better than 1. You know what I'm saying? 4 eyes is better than 2 eyes. You know what I'm saying? And if you have to use a pisser, you're in a prone position to where you can be attacked. So you always have a security post like this. Bam. Anybody violates that, you just take off. And there's been incidents where people have walked through that post and people have had to get off. And that goes inside the building and outside the building. Other forms of security is also when you have to deal with correctional officers. You know what I'm saying? You have to go ask a question or even submit a form. You bring a homeboy with you so he can observe what you say. And see, these are the things that go into a day into securing a yard. You know what I'm saying? Cuentas, the security posts, the hit squads activated. And then a lot of times too, we'd have certain areas where we'd have pieces buried in different spots, right? And so, a way to do that is you'd have a certain marking, 4 steps this way, 3 steps this way, 2 steps that way, dig, bam, you know where the piece is at. And that was a very useful tool, to have the yard stocked, tomahawks and whatnot on the yard. And you basically are going to bury them very, very shallow fucking burials. Now, another thing that was pretty good too is when we would be given some type of write-up. You know what I'm saying? And then the homeboys would have to go do some cleanup. And then what they used to do was, say, after the yard was over, they would have you come out to the thing for an hour and clean the yard, get debris. So what we used to do is we used to go over to the other side where the Southsiders would be, and the whites, and look where their pieces were at and try to bury them up. You know what I'm saying? Try to dig them up. Little things like that, security. Building security in the building is the same thing. Be aware if the door pops open, come out, have your shoes on all day. These are just little things that, back during the era of the 90s, someone said that, about other places that were established. Nah, I was on yards with active dudes where they were still going out there in a chancla sometimes. Or their security was not like ours, where ours had to be strict and rigorous. You know what I'm saying? Building security could be a little bit too. You're paying attention to when they do the counts, when's the bar unlocked, how different COs react to certain situations, where the oppositions are at. You want to know what every cell, you want to know their name, their AKA, and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And then you want to put a priority target in case there's a situation. See, this is how security gets enforced. And see, it all is based upon information. You know what I'm saying? I've held OA positions. I've ran prisons before. And see, I was in a place where we probably had about close to 300, 400 homeboys, maybe even more in that whole prison because it was a reception center. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, I used to tell the homeboys, everybody plays a part because I don't know what's going on in this section, J-Wing. I don't know what's going on over here in L3. The only way I can obtain that information is by you guys being aware and, you know what I'm saying, paying attention and submitting those reports. Because I would get weekly reports from every fucking block about everything that was going on. All the new arrivals, all that. And that's another thing too. The new arrival process is another security procedure to make sure nobody infiltrates, within the household. You know what I'm saying? So immediately you get their 5x5 and 114D lockup order. And so it could be forwarded to the RAs or squad leaders or whatever it may be at that facility. they filter the name. You get a filter. The following, the house will request any and all information concerning this new arrival. And a lot of times we put just bad information, right? And they'll have their basic 5x5 and that gets filtered. You know what I'm saying? And it's a cross check. It's basically you're filtering that. Then when I get the names from the reception side, right, I would cross out the codes, boom, and filter it out. And it'd have everybody's names. You know what I'm saying? The only thing I would submit would be their status, because I used to request what their status was. Now, how even in your cell, man, like, for instance, I used to have a lot of different plugs on me. I'd be having NF reports. I was supposed to go to the fucking, SRG or the GOP. And I would stay with those hooped up. You know what I'm saying? 24/7. When they tried to do a search when I was in 4C, right? They knew I was running the jail. They wanted to move me to Little Max. And they came up in my cell like 12 deep, making sure that I didn't have time to flush anything. Didn't matter. I already had everything hooped. Little procedures like that. You know what I'm saying? And you have to gauge when you're going to need a piece. Not every location you're at, you're going to necessarily need a piece right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Hostile enemy territory, of course. You know what I'm saying? Your backyard, it's not even worse sometimes catching the case, man, because there was a homeboy, like right now, I think people know about this, right? Larry Lucero Cornell from Gilroy. I got nothing bad to say about him. Me and him got along. He always had a buzzard luck, though. You know what I'm saying? He one time was fishing and got caught with some razor blades, and they charged him with fucking dangerous contraband, trying to 3-strike him in Tracy. I shit you not. I think everybody knows what I'm talking about, man. So like I said, security is the most important thing when you're schooling a young northerner before they go to the Pinta, right? And you're honoring fucking the bonds and so forth. Bond number 11, teach the school all those tests in the Pinta. Your focal point you want to teach them the history so they know what they represent. You know what I'm saying? Where they come from. Basic concepts to the cause, but even before that, you want to teach security. You know what I'm saying? And that means from making a weapon, how to identify certain tattoo markings. See, I used to do all kinds of quizzes, like, okay, I did make people write a report of all one faction of their activities and what have they experienced and what do they know about it. It could be the NLR. Okay, they got to earn each letter and certain tattoos that would be symbolic of who they are. Where are they mostly from? You know what I'm saying? What kind of words do they say? Things like that, you pay attention. And, same thing would be with the Sureños, you know what I'm saying? Or what we used to classify as SSG, which would be the camaradas. But it was us mislabeling them. There was an SSG. It just didn't last that long. But the camaradas, we looked for influential Southsiders because, a lot of times whoever their shot caller was at the time in the hole or the main line, you could pretty much fucking figure it out like that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people would go to someone else because they didn't know that I was the authority in charge of places. And that was okay with me. A lot of times it was based upon my appearance. Now, and this has to go with also your decision making. If this is for people in chain of command positions, security also starts in the decisions that you make. The bonds are applied, therefore, to give people due process and to protect their rights, but it's also given to secure your gente. You know what I'm saying? Not making a choice or decision off of hearsay or assumptions. It has to be factual fucking evidence. And then you have to make a decision that is this case salvageable. Because if you're not, and you're going off what someone else is telling you and they're misleading you, then you may find yourself crossed up. You know what I'm saying? That's a very big key issue, as well as declaring war or doing certain removals on other groups. Because once you touch another race, that's grounds for war off top, man. You know what I'm saying? So it has to be some that holds merit. Like NLR cats, we were moving off our yards for a long time. The Wolfpack as well. So therefore, when it does happen, why did you do it? Your whole point and why you did it had to be to secure your people. Anything else is going to get you fucking whacked. Anyways, this is a good topic right here, man. I could expand to this so many different ways, man. I'm just trying to give you guys a base understanding of how important security is within a Norteno household. Everything is based upon it, but it's all based upon information, being aware and being attentive. In that some homeboys didn't realize it when they're doing their little DTRs or OTRs and they're giving that information of what they've seen throughout that day. they're doing their part to secure that household, because the more information, the more aware we are of our surroundings. You know what I'm saying? We want to know if something looks fishy. We want to know if IGI was in this building. We want to know who got pulled out. We want to know who they attempted to pull out. We want to know who's going on weird movements. All those things, man, are important. Now, some of it you can't use as a factual claim against people, but you can use it as a catalyst to fucking investigate further. And that's always going to be key. Security is not always about having your factual information, but it's about having information to bounce off of and to look into things further. Cross-reference, investigation, probe, R&I, research and investigation, all circles around getting accurate intel. You know what I mean? And that's all security is about. It's about informing your gente, you know, making them aware and doing all the groundwork to secure your grounds. You know what I'm saying? Because if you don't care, then you're going to have those that are going to infiltrate your circle. You're going to have those that are going to send to positions that don't deserve it. You know, this topic to me was one of the more important topics that we used to have was security. But outside of that, I thought the history and I thought the words inferior and superior were very key to our education, because I used to have people break those words down because there was a lot of misconceptions that people used to apply them with. You know what I'm saying? Anyways, this is a topic I could probably do again, and I could break down all kinds of different things as far as fucking investigation packets, fucking what an NAQ looks like. You know what I'm saying? The full interrogation, what any clearance procedures do each facility may have. You know what I mean? How long does it take to run a cross check? You know, because there's more things to this. You know, we used to run names if you had a channel. You know what I'm saying? You had a channel to either the Bay, Corcoran, or Tehachapi, or to the streets. You know what I'm saying? I was fortunate to have someone I could talk to either in the Bay, or Corcoran, or the streets, or out there in Rita. So it was always to my security was about maintaining good communications with the right people. You know what I'm saying? That was another form of security, and not overstepping my boundaries to matters that didn't concern me. You know what I mean? Let things play out the way they are. Anyways, this is Flacco. Let's see what happens with this fucking YouTube money. I'm fucking, they fucked me over. I'm mad right now, but hey, it could be worse, right? Stay positive, stay productive, and keep on striving. It's your boy Flacco. I'm gone.